29th day in the month of January. Welcome everyone to State of the State on this channel. I'm Sunday Kolawole. Of course, the month is already going, and that's leading us into the month of February, the month of the creation of Ondo State. Ondo State will be 50, and then that's also going to form the focus of our conversation this evening on State of the State. Welcome everyone. And so our focus will be Ondo at 50, politics, policies, and governance. I'm being joined by a former senior special assistant to Ondo State Governor. He was also former executive director in Bank, Ghana. He's a well-traveled and resourceful person. Mr. Shino Monai joins me on State of the State. Thank you so much for coming on the.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Ondo State at 50. What first hits your mind when you hear that?
Thank you, Sunday. And good evening, viewers out there. Let me first of all use this opportunity to congratulate everyone, particularly Mr. Governor and the good people of Ondo State, on the 58th anniversary. The 58th anniversary of the state is a landmark milestone that serves as a bridge between a tumultuous beginning and a strategic future that is laced with hope. 50 is no joke. It's an opportunity. For me, it's worth celebrating. It's an opportunity for us to reflect on our past, where we are coming from, to reflect on the missed opportunities, to reflect equally on our successes, and of course, to refocus and re-strategize on the future we want for our state. Spiritually, if you look at 50, 50 is an age of transformation, it's an age of fresh start, you know. So in every respect, it is worth celebrating.
It is worth celebrating in every respect. Those are your words. But then, Ondo won't be the only state clocking 50. As a matter of fact, Oyo is also 50. And when you look at the trajectory of events in Oyo and Ondo states, would you say Ondo is really living up to measure a 50-year-old state in terms of infrastructure development, economic buoyancy, and prosperity of its people?
Thank you very much. Yes, it's good to do what we call peer analysis. The index that is globally recognized for doing that is the Human Development Index. The Human Development Index measures life expectancy, measures population, when we talk of access to education and education facilities. And if you look at that, Ondo State is not doing badly. We only have two states because we have three categories. We have the high Human Development Index killer, of which only two states are there, Ebonyi and Lagos State. In this medium category, where Ondo State falls, Ondo State came, I'm talking about the data of 2022, in a study conducted by Radford University. Ondo State came 11th out of 23 states in that category. The other states are in the lower category. So if you join everything together, because we have 36 states, we're talking about Ondo State coming 23rd. No, 11th plus Ondo State coming 13th out of 36 states. With an index of 0.67, which is not bad. Fine. We could do better. Development is a process. It's a continuum. And like I said earlier on, we missed some opportunities.
Such as?
Such as? When I said we missed some opportunities, I can remember very well because working in the PPP that time, public-private partnership, I was able to see a lot of things. For example, if I tell you that Dangote at a point in time approached the state to buy the vegetable, whatever in the north, but for one reason or the other, that one didn't happen. At another time, the same company or the same man, the conglomerate or whatever, approached us for the oil, the one he eventually took to Lagos. But for one reason or the other, which I don't want to go into now, for one reason or the other, those were opportunities. Then again, when you look at the resources available to us, human and material, human and mineral resources, you know, we said Ondo State produces 40% of the cocoa exports in Nigeria. By now we should have maybe one industry or the other, so that we don't just export the raw cocoa, we do some value addition there. Maybe we have a chocolate industry in the area, it is not too much. We have the bitumen there, of course, the largest deposit in the world. We are the second largest also in the world. But for one reason or the other, it has remained untapped. Those are some, and of course, again,
is it the case of these? Just a moment. The case of these missed opportunities. In your words, is that what has made Ondo State have the tag civil service state instead of an industrialized state?
Yes, you can divorce that way. Yes, because how many industries can we count on our fingertips? How many? And when you are talking of industrial takeoff, when you are talking of the diversified economy, you have to talk of industries. Again, talking of, I wouldn't call that one this opportunity, but maybe you can even be part of the people. How many of them are in existence today? Efforts are just being, being made by the current administration to, from what Mr. Governor said, I'm talking of the current governor, to probably, see what can be done in bringing some of them back on board. And I pray that those efforts will materialize.
Can they materialize with the assumption that government has no business in business?
When you say government has no business in business, yes, but at the same time, government should provide the environment, good environment for businesses to take place.
Why do you agree that government has no business in business?
No, I'm still talking. Don't wait a minute.
Okay.
You see, in development economics, various, economies, they differ on the approach to these things, right? Some believe that it's okay. Government should even start these businesses. Start these businesses. Get the businesses up to a particular level and sell to private sector to manage. Because really, experience has shown that when you allow government to be in charge, we have seen lack of ownership will be there. Whatever belongs to everybody, nobody belongs, to all of us belongs to nobody. So people will do all sorts of things, and before you know it, I don't want to say, is it because of the way we are, we will run the place down? We have seen. Look at what happened at when a mass transit. Look at what happened at Oluwa. Look at what. No. It's our people that were in charge, and they run all these places down through corruption, through a lot of things. So, in a way, yes, government has no business in business, but at the same time, government must provide that conducive environment for businesses to thrive. And some governments, some policy makers, they now try to be, they stay at the middle. The government, you start, and that's why these days, and some will even tell you that PPP public-private partnership. Let's see what we can do. Leave the management for the private sector. Then you have some shares, you know.
How well has this succeeded? Or how successful has this been from administration to administration the last 50 years? How well has PPP fared in Ondo State, especially in the face of so many abandoned companies, failed MOUs, and so on and so forth?
I would say it's a new initiative. You know, when you talk of development and when you talk of Ondo State, the only one I can quickly give example, the one I partook in when I was in that department, was the Shoprat during the regime of Governor Mimiko. You know, the government contributed the land, but the private sector contributed the funds. And with the land, of course, the land enabled us to have some share. And of course, we made it in such a way that the private sector that provided the funds will still be paying us some rent every year, you know, for like about 25 or 27 years. You know, that will be before full ownership will revert back to the government. The government will now have the whole place 100%. That's a PPP initiative. So we were trying to do the same thing that time with the Ganifa when we whatever and Ondo, which probably didn't work out because they did a visit there some weeks ago. Said they have put the equipment out and all that. Purely due to economic reasons, maybe they were not having no plans and all that. I don't want to go into that. But it's an approach that worldwide is being embraced because government has got that funds to single-handedly do all these things. Because, you know, so many demands on the little funds that are coming in. We were talking of infrastructural development the other time. We tell you, in a study conducted for Nigeria, for example, and Ondo State is part of Nigeria, that we will still be spending $3 trillion for the next 30 years before we can before we can talk of Nigeria having good infrastructure, in road, in health, so if you do that same thing for Ondo State, I will tell you the budget of Ondo State every year, if you use it for infrastructure alone, for the next 20, 30 years, we will still not solve that problem. And I don't want to give anybody so we will get that anyway because there are so many factors that are limiting, you know, the intention of any governor or anybody that comes to power. They have good intentions when they come to power. It's a different thing when they get there. And it's a different thing when they have left and we want to accept what they have done.
All right, in terms of assessment, let's go into the deep somehow. In terms of development, which civilian administration would you say stand out for you in Ondo State in the last 50 years, so to say?
Something, you know, I don't want to be boxed into a corner, and I don't want to cause any controversy.
It's an assessment.
Well, yes, the assessment is that, look, every government, be it military or civilian, that we have experienced in Ondo State, they have contributed their own quota, one way or the other, in making Ondo State the beautiful state it is today. That's, I mean, on the general note. In terms of proportion, yes, they can vary. And here, it depends on the sentiments of each person. But the truth must be told. The government of Paradekunle Ajashi, I don't want to comment on military because military is an aberration. I'm supposed to be in government, so I don't want to talk of the military governors. Mark you, they ruled us for 23 years out of the 50 years. So, coming up to the civilian administration, the government of Paradekunle Ajashi, yes, we can't take it away from him. He laid, like I said earlier, he laid a very good foundation. He laid a very good foundation in terms of integrity, in terms of quality of I read somewhere about that he came to the government house with a box of clothes that he was using, and when he was leaving, he left with the same clothes. Meaning that for the period he ruled, he never bought one gown or one agbada. We all know his house, I couldn't see the new one he built elsewhere during and after such days. I don't know whether we can ever have such days again. So we can't take that one away from him. But nevertheless, like I said earlier on, each government has contributed something or the other. Take that of who else now? We start with Osrc from 2003 to 2009.
You don't want to comment on Adefarati administration?
Adefarati. Of course, Adefarati, in terms of educational...
I saw you skipped it, that's why I'm asking.
Yes, sorry. He did well in the educational sector, probably because of the fact that Baba was a teacher, and he prioritized that area, and he made we felt his impact in the educational sector. And it was only his time we had what was the name of this university now in Makuba? Adekunle University. And of course, in the area of road development, he did his own too. Talking of Osrc, he too did his own in the educational sector. He established the university that was eventually named after him. In terms of road construction, he tried. I could remember we still have roads being named that we call like a good road in Akure now, and he tried to change the face of Akure a little bit when it comes to road construction. And not only Akure, and some other parts of the state, So in that area, he tried. So we give it to him. Mimiko came with maybe because as a medical doctor, he focused on the health sector. Their BA program, which the Mother and Child, is it Mother and Child? Yes. A program which won so many applause and accolades from all over the world. He really tried there. And of course, in the educational sector, he introduced these buses for taking students to school free of charge. And a good number of welfare programs. And again, during this regime, inclusive government. That was the first time I've seen people going to communities, government going to communities to find out what the needs are. A sort of bottom-top approach to government, what the needs of the people are, and we ask community to nominate or to identify the projects that they want the government to fund for them, to execute for them, and that happened all over the state. So he promoted that one very well during his time. During the regime of the late Arakunrin, he focused on security. The Amotekun that we have today was
his baby.
It was his baby. Fine, you can argue that insecurity was already becoming a major challenge during that time, and he took it up boldly. I know what the fight he forced, even when the federal government was a little bit reluctant to allow state governments to have that kind of outreach. And he stood his ground that no, I must have the people who want to collect their own power. So you can, of course, he did a number of road construction too. You see the one in Ore. When I'm traveling to my place, that one has eased a lot of traffic congestion that used to be in that place. And even in Akura here, he initiated some, which currently is trying to complete. So, and of course, I don't want to talk, the current administration, of course, has started with urban renewal, changing the face of Akure now to make it a more, and a better capital in terms of aesthetics and in terms of beauty. Not only Akure, road construction too, like that. The Joka Road that is under, that is we have ongoing construction, the Akuba, Ikare Road, the Bokoda, dualization, these are airports, the Aromi, road, where we have so the airports are going on. So, like I said, the one way or the other.
So each administration has done one thing, hold the other. Now let's come to politics. I do understand that if there's anything anyone will never forget, it's the political style of Ondo State. In fact, the 1983 election is so fresh in the memory of everyone, despite so many years ago that it did happen. So what improvement would you say has occurred in a politicking style in Ondo State over the years?
Thank you very much. That's one 1983 one year nobody want to remember again. At least when we talk about it, is the lessons that we have learned from that is important to us. I pray that it will never happen. Now, I will say that a lot of improvement has taken place. Now, when you talk of politics, you talk of contest for power. Yes, I don't think we have ever witnessed that level of violence since 1983. And we have to give that one to the various governors and of course all the political actors, that at least when tensions rise, we have a way of managing tensions and ensuring that things don't escalate out of proportion, that human lives will be involved and that people will be killed. There will be chaos in the society. Yes, that has happened. And like I said, we have to thank the political actors for that. But then, let me even say that without, I'm not the PR for Mr. Governor, the current governor, but I will tell you that even now, maybe perhaps it's what is happening at the national level, that is a reflection that is happening now in the state. For the very first time, there is that unity amongst virtually all the political leaders in the state. They are now under the same roof. That we can hardly talk of opposition. It takes months, weeks of appeal, months of making governor, reaching out to people, trying to reconcile, bring people together. Yes, he has done that one, and I think he deserves some credit. The only challenge there now is that yes, we are under one roof, but then people should be more involved in governance, not just being members of the party, but at least we tell truth to ourselves. We critique using party machineries, tell the truth. Where government is doing well, we applaud. Where government is not doing well, we say, hey, you are missing it. This is what
I think a political party could be opposition to itself successfully. And you think the absence of viral opposition would really be healthy for democracy?
Honestly, if I can tell you, maybe because the truth of the matter is that for any party to do well, even within the same party, you should even have people to say, hey, Go and critique this thing for us. That is the best way. That is the best way for you to, if I want to use the word, for you to perpetually be in power. When you are doing something that is bad, and we refuse to tell you, monetarily, anybody, tá a bá ti ti sọ fún ọ ní pé ọwọ́ òbí jẹ́ ká ṣùgbọ́n.
Does that foreclose the place
That doesn't
of
mean
opposition?
that no, it doesn't. It doesn't. That doesn't mean that you don't mean well. It's the approach that matters. It's the language that matters. Then you follow, the machinery. You follow the avenues. You have to do self-critique as a man yourself.
So you have to do self-critique if and when there is no external criticism.
Even when there is no external criticism.
But in the absence of external criticism in this political context that we're talking about now, is it healthy for democracy?
The absence,
So to say,
of are you talking
or
about
the incursion of the ruling party into the alleged incursion of the ruling party into opposition parties?
Well, you have used the word alleged. So if it is alleged, then there is no point talking about it. You know, people generally, they have the liberty, they have the right of association. When you see a man, an old man for that matter, running on the street, if he's not running after something, something is running after.
So in this case,
if
is
you
the man
see
running after something or something is running after the man? Is it the APC that is running after opposition party or the opposition party is running after APC? Let's be pointed.
You are talking of people coming into APC, for example. I am not here to defend APC, and I'm not here to talk for anybody. But what I'm saying is that look, whoever is going to the ruling party must have their reasons for going into the ruling party. They have their reasons, which you cannot crucify them for, because they have the right to do so. And I don't want to believe that it is the ruling party that is making incursion. And if they are making incursion, of course, is it disallowed? It's not. If you don't, if for example, you have a wife, you are not taking care of your wife, and you hear that your wife is having concubines outside, who's what? Who's what? So if you don't take care of your home, if you don't take care of your home,
culpability in this case is on the laps of the opposition parties.
if you don't take care of your home and you allow your competitor or you allow another person to make incursion into you, you don't blame it on that other person. That is the thing I'm trying to say here. Simple and straightforward. So let's leave that, because like I've said, I'm not here as a spokesperson of APC. But I'm just analyzing it the way it is. So that's much for that.
How well then have we been able to strengthen institutions in those states in the last decades, especially looking at how well the institutions of government have been able to function in the interest of our people?
Well, we still have some challenges, and it's not peculiar to Ondo State. This is a national case. First of all, when you look at the process of recruitment into political offices, it is not based on merit. You're supposed to have integrity, you're supposed to have things like how competence, competency, your past records and all that. But these days, what we see, if you don't have money, you cannot contest election. And of course, because of the way we play our politics. It is those that are not supposed to be in power that are ruling us. Those that are, I mean, you have, I don't want to use a derogatory word for the kind of people we have in government now. Although I'm not talking of
who is to be blamed for the faulty leadership recruitment process, not just in Ondo State, let's talk generally now, in Nigeria, the electorate or the political class?
All of us. All of us. Now, when I say all of us, we talk of the political class, we talk of the electorate. I will start with the electorate. Oh, it's okay? Yes, let's start with the electorate. A good number of Nigerians are just busy with you. They are not concerned with the participation level is just not there. Huh? We still play politics of I said something earlier on that those that are supposed to be in government are not the people that are in government. Just because the elites or the intelligentsias, I mean, they have made the system more difficult for them to even enter the political race. You are a professor, you are handling how much? You don't have money. And they say to obtain a nomination form, go and bring 50 million. And where will you get that one from? You can see the problem now. Then the thuggery, the shenanigans that characterize the political process. Not so many people want to go into that. It's okay. You want to serve the people. You have the genuine intention of serving people. And the same people are asking you that, look, if you don't give me money, I will not even vote for you. So I will be bribing you to vote for me. So what do you expect? Corruption has eaten far deep into us. And it's not only that, I doubt, and you can mark me, I doubt in the political system that we are operating can lead us to where we are. The parliamentary system, I doubt if it can lead us to where we are. It's too expensive and it's not, we should jettison it. If we don't, we continue, we won't see any results. I'm convinced of that is my conviction. We won't see any result. In the First Republic, we saw legislators riding bicycles. When they are going to Abuja, they will, 2 or 3 of them, they will be in the same car. These days, you go to National Assembly, you become multi-millionaire overnight. Make that place less attractive. And don't make it, but make it a part-time job. That is where you can have quality people that will be interested. Like I said, the political system is not even helping us. You ask, or you talk of institutions. How many institutions do we have now that are tribal? Are you talking of the judiciary? Are you talking of the legislature? There was a joke of a senator, a retired, top-notch police officer who was voted into the Senate. And who said that the first time he entered the place, he looked around left to right, but no, sir. And like about 70% of the people here, my former pastor was. My former pastor was. So what? That speaks volume. That speaks volume. So where is the integrity?
Well, so much we've said all along. Let's come to a point where we now project to the future of Ondo State. Of course, God willing, the state will keep growing in leaps and bounds. if the right things are done. What are these right things to be done to make Ondo State progress more than it currently does?
Oh, thank you very much. I said earlier on that age 50 is a year of focus, year of transformation. The governor, that's the current governor now, is trying to change the face of the state by embarking on projects that I would call leads to industrial reawakening and change the face of Ondo State, stimulate economic growth and sustainable development. Way back in November here, he was able to secure these, get the oil license, the refinery for Ondo State, and with the private sector participation, hoping to bring in huge sums of money that are ready to bankroll the project. Again, the deep sea port, these two alone, by the time they start, by the time they come to fruition, will change the face of Ondo State totally in terms of industrial development. A lot of small industries will spring up, and development will take place in that area, the larger area, which will affect the whole Ondo State. In terms of employment, we will get employed. And like I said, that will have laid a solid foundation for the development of Ondo State. Not only that, I know, because I'm happy to be close to the investor. The only white glass, though it's coming up now in a different name, the resources are still there, the sand is still there. It was, we started the discussion when I was in the investor. For the change in the foreign exchange, which drove the cost up. So they've done a revision of it now, and they are serious. So I still spoke with them in August, some weeks ago in August, last year. And they are ready to come back and do the thing. And I think Mr. Governor made an allusion to it. That one will be done, and I know it will be done. So probably it's going to take place now. I'm aware that activities, the ceramic, Mr. Governor has promised to look into it so that production can start thereafter. And of course, that something will be done in the case of the bank company. So these are various projects that are in the pipeline that by the grace of God, when they are done, Ondo State will be a different place. Thank you. Mr. Governor is determined to leave the state better than he met it, and of course, he wants his name to be written in the sands of time. So, like I argue with people, he still spends just 1 year, he have 3 years in the first instance. So,
we can only wish the governor well and also the entire state well as the state progresses, especially post 50th anniversary. And then we also like to employ everyone to do our best.
We need to support the government. We need to give them our support and pray for them. The trust deficit that has been there, not only here, all over Nigeria, let's give them the chance and let's pray for them so that they will do things that will continue to make the people to be more committed.
I want to thank you very much, Mr. Manai, for your time on State of the State. Thank you so much for coming to share your thoughts with us on the politics, the policies and governance in the last 50 years in Ondo State. Thank you so much for your time.
Thanks,
everyone. It's been a very interesting moment on the Outlook, looking at the policies, politics and governance of Ondo State in the last 50 years. I thank you so much for being a part of it. If you turn that to God willing, I am Sunday Kolawole. Please enjoy the rest of it.